Hello, my name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Moon Echo by AudioThing and Hainbach, and it's absolutely free, so let's OJ!
Hi, I'm Hainbach. It's good to have you by. 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 Moon Echo is based on the technique of moon bouncing, which means sending radio signals to the moon and they're reflected back, either to your own transceiver or another dish. For the satellites, this was a way to do radio broadcasts from one part of the Earth to the other, but still amateurs connect with moon bouncing all the time. All the time. All the time.
You expect, when you send white noise to the moon, that you simply get white noise back. But what happens is, because of the mechanism, the moving rock with all the bumps and dents and whatever, and constantly moving towards us or away from us, all those different frequencies in the white noise become a bit stronger. Others become a bit weaker. And because it moves, you hear the movement. You do not hear simply, but you hear. There are basically three movements. The Earth moves. We rotate when we see the moon rising. In fact, we rotate towards the moon. On our position, we are getting closer and closer to the moon while we rotate, until it's right completely up in the sky. Then we rotate away from the moon, and then we move away from the moon. The moon itself rotates in a not completely circular orbit around the Earth. It's going away from us or going towards us. The third movement is that the moon librates. It wobbles a bit, and that means that we do not see 50% of the moon surface, but all in all, we can see 60%. Every now and then, we can see a little bit of the dark side, the back side. It's not really the dark side,
But it's cool to call it that.
That causes a very interesting Doppler effect. Those Doppler effects are different across the complete globe, and so some tones get a little bit higher, others more higher, and others even more higher, even more higher, even more higher.
Maybe it would be possible in the future to set up the moon as a delay line, and that's where my idea to work with AudioThing and Echo came about. Because, oh my god, what a fantastic thing to use the moon as an echo. Even if it's just simulated. 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 Even if it's
So once again, AudioThing have teamed up with the incredible artistry of Hainbach, and they have concocted Moon Echo. So what exactly is Moon Echo? Well, it's EME, Earth-Moon-Earth communication, also known as moon bouncing. It's a radio communications technique that relies on the propagation of radio waves from an Earth-based transmitter directed via reflection from the surface of the moon back to an Earth-based receiver. So what exactly does all of that mean? Well, back in the 1940s, before humans had the ability to shoot satellites up into space, we would use a ground satellite to transmit radio waves up to the moon, and those radio waves would reflect off the moon to another ground satellite receiver to be able to send messages back and forth. Incredible technology. So this technique of radio broadcasting was used during the Second World War until the 1950s, when radio amateurs picked up on it, and it eventually became obsolete once satellites were invented, but there are still radio amateurs using and connecting with it to this very day. This led Hainbach to the Dwingaloo Radio Observatory, which is a single-dish radio telescope located near the village of Dwingaloo in the northeastern Netherlands. There he was able to use the equipment to send up a bunch of samples to the moon and back, provided to him by a vocalist, a bass player, and his Patreons, and then understand how it all works, collect data, and then go back to AudioThing and create this amazing new plugin. Let's take a look at a project that I've made with it. So let's take a look at how this thing works. I've got a session of AUM open here, and I've got a microphone connected that isn't turned on yet. Let's open up Moon Echo, and let's just talk about a couple of the settings before we connect the microphone to it. So we have our transmit section here, and it has a button here that you can press to transmit audio to the moon and back. But underneath we have this Simplex and Duplex, and a switch which goes between the two. Simplex is the real world version of how Hainbach used this in the video he has on his channel, which I've pinned up the top there for you to go and check out. And this little window here is the representation of that. So Hainbach would be sitting there in front of the equipment with a little microphone, and he'd talk into it, press the button, talk into it, and the data would get sent from this satellite to the moon and then delayed back. And depending on how far away the moon is from the satellite is how far the delay is. And if you are connected to the internet, in real time, you can hit ping moon and it will send data to NASA to try and calculate where you are and get the exact distance of the moon to where you are right now. And this would obviously change as the day goes by or whatever time of the day it is. So you can currently see it's 2.53893 seconds away. So now if I bring in another microphone, if I bring in this microphone over here, we'll just bring it in. I'll turn off this one and we've got this one connected now. So I'm just talking into this, and now if we activate this, you'll see the quality will go down a little bit. Hello, hello. So we're still connected, but now if I press this transmit button and record some words and then click it off, it will then send that data to the moon. Let's give it a go. Hello there, can you hear me?
Hello there, can you hear me?
This is Jade contacting the moon.
This is Jade contacting the moon.
Hello, woo!
Hello, woo!
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Doobly-doo.
Doobly-doo.
Okay, so you get the idea with that. That's how you would send vocals using the real world method. But what we're going to do next is I'm going to switch over to a piano and show you how this effect works in an unrealistic world where we can actually bring the moon closer to us at our own whim, yeah? Because you can't do that in real life, can you? And that's by switching over to the duplex mode. But to do that, I'm going to bounce over here to our piano and just let me check. I've got a piano connected. Yep, so I've got Piano Tech connected. We're going to bring in this copy of Moon Echo. Make sure Duplex is switched over. Make sure it's all turned on. And the first thing I'm going to do is turn up the moon dust option over here. And you're going to hear the sound that you would hear back from the moon, yeah? So this is the real sound that you would hear that they've created into this app. It can go up pretty loud. So you can decide what level you want to make it realistic or take it all the way out, like it's up to you. Now, if I play some notes now that this is connected, you'll notice in this picture, let's just turn this down for a second. Now this picture's changed. So when you switch between the two, there's only one satellite sending to the moon and back. But when we switch to duplex, there's two. So this is being sent up to the moon and back to another satellite. Now, it's currently set to that 2.95, whatever it is up there. It's too small for me to read because I can't see. But we can change the time of this if we want as well. So currently, if I play with the real world stats, let's play some notes. And we're getting that delay from that 2.5915 seconds back to us. Let's bring in some moon dust. But we have the power to turn up the time and make this moon even further away. See, it gets smaller or larger. So the smaller we make the dial down to 0, the closer the moon is. And we're getting an instant effect, almost like a chorus effect. But as we turn it up, it's wicked. And we've also got a feedback dial here, so we can really get crazy. Wild, wild, wild. Let's talk about the Doppler effect. We'll turn down that noise for a second. So we have this Doppler effect here. And how this works, it's a bit hard to explain, but I'll do my best. So it controls the amount of frequency shift in the incoming signal from the moon. Because the Doppler effect, the moon's constantly spinning, the Earth's constantly spinning, and they're getting further and closer apart. So this can create a shift in frequency. So it's not a pitch shifter as such, but it is a frequency change. And you can see if I play some notes and change this Doppler effect, it's wild. I'm going to bring the time up, bring the feedback up a bit too. So this feedback can get out of hand. So you might want to stop that. And have a bit of control there. So we've got an input, we've got a mix control to control the mix of it, and an output as well. The other cool thing I want to talk about is with this moon dust. So let's bring up the moon dust. And if you don't like that sound playing all the time, there's an option up here which adds a dust envelope. So now the dust sound, the moon dust sound, will only appear when the delay is coming back to you. It's super cool. I think this app is just absolutely beautiful. Now, you've heard what can be done with it in some projects that I've shown you. So let's, I don't know, try and get some things happening here, I guess. I've got some piano connected to this. I think you get the idea. I think the other settings are pretty self-explanatory. You've got a bunch of presets. You've got Simplex and Duplex presets. You've got, if we click off here, you also can save a preset, delete. You've got a randomization, pretty standard stuff that you get with the AudioThing apps. You can clear your buffer if it gets too crazy, your host reset, host playback. You've got this dust envelope, lock and unlock parameters, preset, copy paste, zoom, scroll, graphics, brightness, contrast, and an online manual. Pretty standard stuff there. But let's get this piano playing here because I've got piano motifs connected to it. Well, that is Moon Echo by AudioThing and Hainbach, and what a crazy app it is. Really cool, really clever, really out of the box. It's Hainbach. What do you expect? Hainbach and AudioThing have a great relationship together, and I hope they continue to make more and more apps. When I see their names together, I get excited, and this one's free. So go to the App Store right now, go grab it, download it, have a play with it. I'm going to be messing around with it, making some drunken, weird, spacey, soundscapey, noisy, weird stuff because it's just that cool. If you'd like to go over to Hainbach's channel, go over there and check out the whole story of how he went and found out how to use the thing and set the samples up and got it all happening. And then on the AudioThing channel is Hainbach's tutorial. So those videos are there for you to go and check out as well. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, please hit the like for us, ring the bell, subscribe, all that stuff. Maybe send a donation or a super sticker or a super thanks or any of that kind of stuff. It really does help the channel. I'm going to get out of here for today, and I'm going to leave you with the famous words: do the things that make you happy, mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together and stay awake, whatever you do. So let's OJ!